But something was pretty extraordinary today that not too many people paid attention to, which was that the Chief Medical Officer of Victoria is now saying that masks, it'll probably be a thing we're going to do every winter, whether it's COVID or not. Have a look.
When we're on the other side of coronavirus, we should still bear in mind that masks will be very useful as we go out at the peak of the flu season, maybe right through the flu season, to do the same things that work for COVID.
So, Nick, is the expectation that in next winter, in the winter after, and the winter after, and the winter after, that there would be a fine for not wearing a mask?
Look, I don't know that Brett Sutton is saying that, Paul. Look, certainly I suspect here in Victoria the wearing of masks on public transport and in crowded public places is something that's going to be a part of our lives for some time to come, unfortunately. I think you'll see public health officials like Brett Sutton continuing to push the idea of mask wearing because it does lower the transmission of infectious disease. I mean, and potentially during periods of high seasonal flu, you can see the call going out for people to wear masks, as they do in many Asian countries. But look, I for one certainly do not hope that becomes a feature of our Australian lives because, I like getting around mask-free, but I can understand there will be certain situations from a public health perspective when it would be advisable to do so.
Rita, I'm not anti-mask, but this is the bloke whose advice leads to where you are tonight, which is you're at work, but most people can't even get to work, where Nicholas is right now locked inside his house, all the rest of it here. I don't think this is going to be an option. If he gives the advice, that the Premier, of course, because he's dreamy eyes, will follow it on, Twitter will cheer it on, and you'll get fined if you choose not to wear it. Now, the ultimate solution to stopping the road toll is not letting anyone drive anymore. How impractical is this stuff?
Well, if you allowed these public health officials to set the policies without politicians tempering some of their advice, you would have cars all driving at 40 kilometres regardless of the roads. You would have people wearing masks all year round. There's viruses all year round. You would have sugar and salt content of foods policed much more heavily, and alcohol and, of course, tobacco. So public health officials have got a certain priorities, but it's the job of those who are elected to balance those priorities with other priorities, including economic growth, including the freedom of adults to make choices for themselves. I tell you, there's been one positive out of being forced to wear masks. I've started riding my bike again because it's the only time I can be outdoors without a mask, and I'm willing to do it. I'm not a fan of bike riding, but I will do it just to feel the wind and the sun on my face because it is. Keep it up.
Does the Persian princess wear lycra?
Not wear lycra.
Yeah, I was going to say. Let's be very clear here.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
The City of Melbourne, Rita, will keep building the bike lanes to allow you to ride safely around town.
Oh, for the love of God.
But of course, Mark, these chief health officers are used sort of Moses-like, that, when they write it on the tablet, it must be followed. It is a commandment. So now, if it doesn't become the system, then somehow Andrews is ignoring the opinings of the chief medical officer, who has helped us oh so definitely.
Yeah, well, early on I said, we're headed to the dictatorship of the health bureaucrat, where these little people with their advice and the sense of control and domination of society running all our lives get way out of control. And this is obviously a manifestation of it. At the end of the day, Paul, personal hygiene is just that, it's personal. Now, I haven't had the flu for 12 years. I don't get the flu jab. And the chances of wearing a mask post-COVID about the flu, well, you can shove the mask where the sun don't shine. It ain't going to happen. And people are going to make their own personal choice. Whatever I'm doing, by miracle or good fortune, if you're not getting the flu, well, you're not going to even think about wearing the mask. And as for what happens in the mask mania that you get in the media, all these people in the media who don't catch public transport are now experts on wearing the mask. I do catch public transport. I've been doing it for 40-odd years out of southwest Sydney, and the trains are that empty. They've never been so empty, so clean and so comfortable. I'm tempted, and I think I will do it one morning, to bring my pillow in and you can lie down on your seat. There's no one on the trains and you can have your good old nap going into the city. I've got on train going into the city circle. I'm the only one in the bottom tier of the carriage.
Wow.
So these people who don't catch public transport, who want to run our lives for us, bugger off. We're adults, we're not babies, and we'll do a good job for ourselves.
Yeah.